What's up, you guys? I'm Aaron. Welcome to Aftershock. And today we've got the WWE Extreme Rules 2016 review from last night. I'm going to give you the full show results and my review of the event. So, without further ado, let's kick it off with the kickoff, the pre-show. First things first, the Dudley Boys come out to diss the city. Big Cass interrupts, comes out to basically clean house via a big boot to Bubba Ray and a East River crossing to Devon. Got a humongous pop and a lot of Enzo chants, which is awesome. I can't wait for Enzo to come back. Next on the kickoff, we've got JoJo backstage interviewing The Miz with Maurice. Miz cuts a... Miz is awesome, you guys. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I didn't used to get into him a lot, but here lately he's been doing a lot better than I've ever seen him do. And this movie scene style promo that he cut backstage, I loved it. I actually really liked it. It was really... It showed some real talent in The Miz when it comes to speaking and talking on the mic and stuff. Next interview, we've got Tom Phillips in the social media lounge interviewing Rusev with Lana, and Rusev basically says he's going to devour Kalisto's heart and destroy him and take the U.S. title. The kickoff match was next up, Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler in a no disqualification match. It's what you would expect. We've seen these two do this exact same thing over and over. Baron Corbin actually hit the Deep Six, a really good looking one too. Really like that move. Let's see, Dolph hit the Famouser. A good match, not too hardcore at all. Didn't live up to the no disqualification name. The only thing that was even relevant to a no DQ match was at the end of the match, Ziggler went for a super kick. Corbin dodged it, gave him a low blow, hit the end of days, and picked up the win. I'm definitely very glad to see Baron Corbin get this win. He didn't really need it necessarily, but it's good for him. I give the match about a 5.5, maybe 6. Wasn't the best match, but it definitely wasn't the worst. It was a typical kickoff match. Now on to the main show. The opening match was the Usos versus Anderson and Gallows, the Club, in a tornado tag match, which means all four are in the ring at the same time, or not necessarily in the ring, but legal. The Club, I loved this spot right here. The Club hit the boot of doom from the apron to the floor. Gallows was on the floor, had the Uso up in the fireman's carry. Anderson was on the apron. He jumps off, gives the boot. It was a really cool spot. I actually really liked it, and my hair is pissing me off. But anyways, very good match all the way through, I thought. Anderson got hip attacked in the barricade. Gallows grabbed the ring bell, but got super kicked with it. Then Jimmy Uso went up to the top for the splash. Gallows rolled out of the way. He missed and hit the ring bell. The Club win via picking him up and giving him the Magic Killer. This was actually a really good match. I'm going to give it a 7.5, maybe a 7, maybe 7.5 of 10. Really good match. Couldn't have been a better opening match in my opinion. Next match on the card was Rusev versus Kalisto for the United States Championship. Lana introduced Rusev, basically a speed versus power game. Rusev was dominant for basically about the first half of the match. Kalisto had a little comeback later on in the match. I liked through in between the bottom and the middle ropes, the Hurricanrana to the steps. I liked that spot. That was really cool. Kalisto took a bump from the top rope to the apron, and it seemed like he was injured. They got a doctor out there to check on him. Rusev pulled him back in the ring, gave him the stomp, put on the accolade, and wins the U.S. Championship via submission. About a 5.5 out of 10 match for me. Wasn't the best match at all, but I mean, hey, what can we expect? Kalisto's been thrown around like a rag doll for 2 or 3 months now. But anyways, glad they got the title off of Kalisto. I would like to see Kalisto have a lengthy U.S. title run, but we got all these stars coming back. If there was to do another John Cena Open Challenge, he would have to get the title off of Kalisto. That's not very credible. So, one of those guys like a John Cena getting the title off of a talent like Rusev would be very much more believable to me, actually. Post-match, the doctors check on Kalisto. I guess part of it probably is really checking if he's okay, but part of it's probably a work too. Because I noticed they make a big deal out of when he puts the accolade on Kalisto, but it's technically where he's so small, he can bend him back, and he's not even bending that much. He's technically on his knees, so I guess it is kind of a work, but I guess maybe they are kind of checking on him too. Excuse me. Next match, the New Day versus the Vaudevillains for the tag team titles. Pre-match, the New Day do their usual funny comedy act. They come out there. Big E had 2 hoes, and they said they're in the Garden State. So they're gonna put 2 hoes in the ground. I thought that was really funny. It was actually a really decent match. Xavier Woods was the MVP, legal most of the match. Xavier Woods, that was a really cool thing for them to do for Xavier, because he's a very great talent, and they basically use him for a mouthpiece. Not the only mouthpiece, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. Woods actually kicked out of the Whirling Dervish. Big E hit the apron spear on English to the floor. After that, Woods hits the Shining Wizard and gets the 1-2-3 to retain the titles. I'm so glad they actually gave Xavier Woods a chance to shine, because he deserves it and he needs it. The match was about a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Next match on the card was the show stealer, no doubt in my mind. Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn versus The Miz in a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title. Soon as the bell rang, Zayn flew across the ring and hit Owens with the haluva kick, knocked Owens out of the match for 15-20 minutes maybe. Maybe not that long, but maybe 10 minutes. Followed by that, an uppercut from Cesaro to Miz knocks The Miz out, led to a one-on-one match, so to say, between Cesaro and Zayn. The corner suplex tower with Owens on top and Cesaro on the bottom with the powerbombs was really cool. We see that often, but with these 4 guys, they can make it look really cool. The Exploder suplex, he caught him in the Exploder. I think he caught Kevin Owens maybe. And then Cesaro come behind him with the German. They took them both over. That was a really cool spot. Uppercuts by Cesaro to all 3 guys in the corner. Cannonball Express, all 3 guys in the corner. Cesaro kicked out of the skull-crushing finale. Miz gets the big swing and actually taps to the sharpshooter. But Maurice had the ref distracted. He didn't see it, so it technically wasn't a decisive end to the match. Owens frog splashed a draped Miz on the bottom rope. Cesaro was holding his legs, and he was draped on the bottom rope, hit the frog splash. I thought that was really cool. Cesaro hit the neutralizer. Miz hit the skull-crushing finale on Owens out on the outside. Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb, but Miz retains after Sami Zayn hits a haluva kick on Cesaro. Then Kevin Owens gets him out of the ring. They fight. Miz sneaks in there and steals the win to retain his title. Match was crazy, about an 8.5 of 10 for me at least, maybe even a 9. Next match, Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose in the first ever Asylum match. Pretty sure there's already a match called the Asylum match, but whatever. Anyways, the mop was the first weapon retrieved by Ambrose. Jericho got the barbed wire 2x4, but got nunchucked by Ambrose. Actually, a pair of nunchucks, and he's actually showing some skill with them. That was really pretty cool. I like the straight jacket blind spot. Dean was going to hit him or spray him one with the fire extinguisher. Jericho had the straight jacket in his hand, threw it over his face. That was really cool. Ambrose hit the elbow from the top of the cage. He got a bag of tacks from inside the mop bucket, which was a big surprise for everybody. Jericho sprayed Ambrose with the fire extinguisher and hit the code breaker, but Ambrose kicked out. Jericho used the barbed wire 2x4. Ambrose caught Jericho going for another code breaker. Caught him, slammed him in the tacks, got him up, gave him the dirty deeds and the tacks for the win. About a 7 of 10. The match wasn't all that great. I actually probably wouldn't even give it a 7, maybe a 6, maybe. It wasn't all that great. It was kind of like they just kept taking turns going for shit, going for weapons. But anyways, next match on the card, Natalya versus Charlotte in a submission match for the women's title. Good match overall. Not the best we've seen from these two at all, but it wasn't the worst. A lot of submission attempts, but the problem here is the submissions that these girls were going for were not established at all. I've never seen Natalya do an armbar in my life, so that's very, very unbelievable that Charlotte's going to tap to a move we've never seen Natalya even use, or vice versa. But anyways, there was a lot of submission attempts. Middle of the match, we heard the Nature Boy music hit, but it wasn't the Nature Boy. It was Dana Brooke dressed up in the coat and the wig. Charlotte retains via figure 8 after Dana Brooke distracts Natalya. The match wasn't all that great, about a 6 maybe. Next match and our main event of the evening, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. They fought in the crowd for a while. Styles got backdropped through a table. Styles got the absolute hell beat out of him in this match. You guys, if AJ Styles didn't prove himself to Vince McMahon and the WWE in this match, then he probably never will. Reigns actually hit a new move. We've seen the Splash Mountain, or the V-Bomb, Matt Hardy calls it. It's the Razor's Edge threw up into a sit-out powerbomb. That was a really cool move and a new move we've seen from Roman Reigns. The outside powerbomb spot, he hit him. He went for a Hurricane Rana. Reigns caught him, slammed him in the apron, into the barricade, pulled him back up, threw him through a table. That was a really cool spot. I liked that a lot. Reigns missed a spear outside and went through the barricade. Reigns hit a spear over the steps, jumping over the steps on the outside. That was pretty cool. The Club and the Usos, both teams got involved. Styles ended up going crazy with chair shots, beating the absolute hell out of the Usos and Roman Reigns with a chair. He had a Styles Clash, and then he actually hit a Styles Clash on the chair. Uso got involved, gave Roman Reigns just enough time to kick out. That's crazy for me. Who kicks out of a Styles Clash and then a second one on top of a chair? Who kicks out of that? That's retarded. But anyways, he went in the end of the match. He went out to the apron for the phenomenal forearm. When he jumped and springboarded off, he got caught in midair with a spear to give Roman Reigns the retaining win. About an 8 of 10, 8.5 maybe, is actually a really good match. This match and the Fatal 4-Way, both, in my opinion, are Match of the Year contenders. Post-match, after the world title match ended, Seth Rollins returns to pedigree Reigns and hold up the title. So I guess we're going to, yeah, Roman, you might be the guy, but you've just ran into the man. So we'll see what happens here. I have to think that they're going to give the title back to Seth Rollins. If I'm not mistaken, before Rollins got injured, the way they were leaning into Survivor Series was supposed to be Rollins versus Reigns for the title. So I guess they're just going to pick up where they left off. Rollins had a new shirt. He's got new shirts out. He's seemingly in new wrestling tights. I guess the redesign, rebuild, reclaim is going to be the thing now for him. until he does reclaim his world title. So definitely looking forward to that. Extreme Rules wasn't the best I've ever seen this year, but it definitely wasn't the worst at all. It was actually a really good event. Give it about a 7 or 8. It was a really good event. If you guys enjoyed this video or any of my videos, super kick that like button, super kick that subscribe button, share it to your Facebook, Twitter, anything else so maybe another wrestling fan can see. Appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch any of my videos. And I've got a very short breaking news video pertaining to Ring of Honor Wrestling. I will upload it as soon as I upload this video, so definitely check that out after you click off of this one. So I'm out of here, you guys. Peace out.